Hey, welcome. It's Brian, and today I'm going to talk about 5 bands I hate. Now, that's a pretty strong word, and I'm sure there's elements to these bands I probably could find merit in, but they've always been irritating to me, whether I didn't understand them or just found their musicianship boring and kind of pointless. So I think that's a lot of it. I am definitely a fan of long form improvisational things, whether it be jazz, free jazz, metal, extreme metal, classical. So I have a pretty wide palette, but these are the 5 bands I just hate. We'll start out with one that I love to beat up on, and that is the Grateful Dead. It's kind of an easy target in a way. I definitely appreciate their kind of approach to improvisation and that they really, really kind of double down on that. And we have an incredibly iconic guitar player in the band, Jerry Garcia, who I personally don't love, but I can definitely see that he definitely pushed the boundaries. He loved music, and like many of the other players in the band, were fans of all sorts of music, but I just didn't see how it translated to what they did. So that number one band is Grateful Dead. Number two is Pearl Jam. Now, I was in Seattle right when 10 came out, actually, even before, so I saw a lot of these bands emerge: Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, many, many others. And I have to say, my head was not into that scene at the time. I was more of like into progressive rock and kind of fusion still. And so they didn't really make an impact on me. But for some reason, Pearl Jam as a whole, I just have never got it. Is Jeff Ament a great bass player? It sounds like it. Is Stone Gossard a great guitar player? I guess. But as a whole, just never got it. So that is one band that maybe surprises people, maybe not. I don't know. So please like, subscribe, and comment. The next band on my list is Slayer. Now, I definitely love dark, aggressive, and dissonant music. I just never really bought into their whole thing. It's kind of like another band that should have been on this list, which is Kiss, but to me that's an easy target, where Slayer might be a little more surprising because am I a huge fan of Metallica or Megadeth or even Death Angel? I've definitely had my moments where I definitely loved Metallica and Death Angel and Megadeth for sure, and I still actually appreciate all three of those bands. Are they in the top four, thrash bands? Definitely Megadeth and Metallica are. But Slayer, I just never really bonded with. I don't think I've listened to an entire record without wanting to turn it off. And I'm not sure what it is. They had incredibly cool riffs for the most part. They just seemed to go nowhere. The guitar solos were highly irritating, and just the general vibe never really clicked with me. So Slayer is my third band that I hate. Number four is The Band. So I respect Robbie Robertson. Rest in peace for sure. But his solo record was incredible, whatever that first one was. There's several. One I think is called Storytime. Didn't appreciate that one as much, but the first one that Daniel Lanois produced, love that one. Lots of guest stars on it. But the band, I've had lots of people, much like the Grateful Dead, try to convince me otherwise of my very strong opinions that I just don't get it. And the band is even actually more hard to understand to me than the Grateful Dead. Mostly because it's this nebulous kind of meandering, kind of folky, bluesy, I don't even know about bluesy, but country-fied kind of thing that I didn't really get it. And the songs themselves, yeah, they had a couple of songs that were kind of hits. Down on Cripple Creek, is that the name of it? That song always bugged me. And the other song is The Wait. I think that's what it's called. That one I'm okay with, but overall I just never really clicked with them. So let me know what you think of specifically the band. If you can convince me of something that I need to listen to, I'd love to hear it. Number five is The Doors. Now, all 5 of these bands in general definitely appeal to someone my age, in their 50s. And so you're hearing a lot of classic rock, but these were always easy targets. I never liked them as a kid. And The Doors, maybe Riders on the Storm. I like that song. That is a song I wouldn't turn off, but pretty much every other song, I just found it ridiculous. They definitely had some cool music elements, But when you add it all together, and that's what I'm talking about, these bands, they could have some cool individual players or points or whatever. But overall, just the songwriting on all of these bands just never clicked with me in a big way. So that is my top 5 bands that I hate. Please, in the comments, list yours or argument to basically say, hey, I think you're wrong. I am Brian. Have a good day. Bye.